Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local celebrity hosts Steve O and Rene. Sit back each week while Steve O and Rene educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve O and Rene with today's expert in their field.
Good afternoon and welcome to another Ask the Experts on Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, the studio is quiet today.
It's very quiet. It's kind of scary in here. It's so quiet.
It is.
I think I saw Martin Luther King walking around.
Don't even tell me that.
Okay. Hey, he was a great person.
He was.
Anyhow, if you've just tuned in for the first time, we bring in the top experts in South Florida in the areas of health, legal, financial, and home improvement. If you'd like to ask our guests today, we are doing a show on hearing aids and hearing loss.
Which affects everybody.
Huh?
Exactly.
Excuse me?
We'll talk after.
We have the top audiologist in South Florida, not in just Palm Beach, not in just Broward, but South Florida. We are so lucky to have her here with us today. We'll get to that in just a minute. If you'd like to watch today's show live right now, go to www.wwnnradio.com and voila, there we are. You have to click on
the TV link.
The WNN TV link first.
On the left-hand side of the page.
And thank God for AMP2 TV because they're the ones who make this happen. So just sit back. We're going to talk about audiology today. We're going to talk about hearing loss. Do you think I have a hearing loss problem?
Probably. And would you like to introduce
our
guest?
I'm getting ready to. But
okay.
I want to just... Can I call you Dr. Paula?
Yes, you may.
I can I?
Yes.
We've got Dr. Paula with us today. And we are... Her last show...
From A. Bell Audiology.
Well, I'm going to get to that too.
Yes, I'm helping you along.
Thank you. But we had 4 emails last time, people saying... Thank you for bringing a hearing loss show because one of them said, I think I'm going to be having problems down the road because we talked about like when you're watching TV and you don't understand this person. So we gave them
the comprehension aspect of it as well is a big factor.
So Dr. Paul, first
tell everybody where you're located.
Yes. Abel Audiology is located at 2301 North University Drive, Suite 110 in Pembroke Pines, Florida. We also do home visits, and
which is very unusual because you never see that. It's big.
It is. So listen how calm and cool she is today after last time.
So tell everybody a little background about yourself and your practice.
Okay, so I've been in practice for 30 years now. Can't believe
Still a
it.
rookie.
I know.
Still a rookie.
Still a rookie.
So what'd you start, 10?
Yes. Started right out of a childbirth. So I've been doing this for 30 years. When I started, it was the thing to be very well versed and very well rounded. So I'm still very well rounded. We do hearing conservation. We do hearing loss and hearing aids. We do, going back to hearing conservation, we do sound level testing. We do musician earplugs and in-ear monitors.
Which is what?
Specialty. You know when you used to see all the amps on the ground?
Yes.
At concerts? Well, now you see all the musicians with the little earplugs in their ears. And that allows for greater mobility on the stage, and they don't need as much volume so they can preserve their hearing and not get tinnitus so fast. So it's very preventative.
I need that for radio. I'm listening to my radio at night.
You do.
Yeah,
I know that.
They're fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Now, do you sell those, the earbuds?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do?
We take custom impressions, so everything we do is very customized and personalized. And
that is wonderful. Now, that's something I would be interested in.
Because you need it personalized? You want your initials on it?
No, but
we can put your initials on it.
No, but with rhinestones, you can have rhinestone bling.
That's you. But Dr. Paul is saying that, this is easier on the ear, though.
Totally easier on the ear.
Exactly. So,
and we do a lot of consultations for business and families,
Okay.
because hearing loss doesn't just affect the person that has it. It also affects the whole family.
Isn't it hereditary? It's loss of hearing hereditary.
There are several causes for hearing loss. The number one is actually noise exposure.
Okay.
And then just as you have more birthdays, and definitely heredity, and as we have more birthdays, things happen to us. So the doctors put us on meds, and a lot of times the meds can cause hearing loss.
The meds can?
A lot of times the meds combined
Wow.
can cause
Wow.
hearing loss.
That I've
That's
never
what-
heard of. Wow.
If you ever see the commercials for how can I say this nicely? Viagra,
Okay, that's okay. That's not one of the 40 words.
That
one of
isn't.
one of the side effects
Is hearing loss?
Hearing loss.
So it has some benefits, but then you can't hear.
What? What'd you say? I don't use it, but what'd you
So,
say?
I mean, it's not guaranteed
Right.
to cause hearing loss. And,
But that's one of the side
certainly
effects?
if you're having any hearing loss or any ringing in the ears and you think it's due to your medication, please, please do not just stop taking your meds. Always check with your physician
Exactly.
first.
I have a question. I have a question
Well,
about
I
the
would like to
ringing
say
in the
something
ears.
first.
Okay,
So
wait.
let's ask at the same time.
No, I'm asking Dr. Paula first because you just mentioned something about ringing in the ears. What does that mean when you have ringing in your ears? Because I get that every so often.
Okay, so pretty much 99.999% of the population will get some sort of ringing in their ears, whether it be ringing, hissing, buzzing, crickets. People describe it as a pipe noise sometimes. And there's all kinds of descriptions. People call it tinnitus. Some people call it tinnitus. And a lot of people will get this.
So what is tinnitus?
The real definition of tinnitus is a phantom noise in your ears.
So if mine
Not-
plays a song, it's not a phantom noise then. Mine actually plays Inagata DeVita.
That's auditory hallucination.
You got a pill for that?
I'm kidding.
Maybe you took a pill. That's why that's happening.
A lot of times medications, but again, don't stop taking
Right.
your meds.
Yeah, well, they can stop taking Viagra if there's a problem. With the ears, I'm
Some
talking
people,
about.
well, never mind. We won't go to
You can
Yeah,
have
we won't get into that.
some wives after you for that one.
So the reason they call it a phantom noise is because you will hear a sound out in the periphery of your ear. So you'll hear it here, and because we hear with our ears, but we comprehend with our brain, and the brain interprets whatever sound it hears. You will hear it. It will make a sound here. You will hear it in your ear and a corresponding noise in your head. With tinnitus, you still hear the sound in your head, but it doesn't really exist outside
Yikes.
anymore.
So you're actually hearing things, basically. That's what you're saying.
Well, the limbic system of your brain, which assigns emotions to things, truly believes that it still hears a sound, and it believes that that sound is attacking the body.
See, I was always told in the Jewish religion, if your ears are ringing, somebody's talking about you. So I always thought it was
And
good.
yours are always ringing.
Why not always ringing? I figured people are talking about me.
Tell me something. You've been doing this for a long time. What age? I know everybody's different. What is the average age when a person starts losing their hearing where they actually need a hearing aid?
I don't really want to give an average age.
Okay.
My philosophy now, as I've been doing this for a long time, is that having a hearing test should be just as important a part of your annual physical as getting an eye exam or a stress test
And that's
or
interesting.
cholesterol testing
Yeah.
or anything else, because it's really so important, because it connects you with people.
And they don't do that. Because when you go in for a physical, they'll do an eye exam, they do everything. They do hearing exams in schools, and after that, you're on your own. But it's unusual that physicians don't do that.
That should be part of your health, with the
Your
insurance
screening, yeah.
required. for your health, that you should have
A healthy checkup, yes.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
I'm actually happy to be here today because this is January, and my goal this year is to spread the word about healthy hearing.
Oh,
and
good.
it is my personal mission to personally do at least 1,000 hearing screenings or tests this year. So
Can you tell us how many you did last year?
I'm signing you up.
What?
Exactly. I have to.
Could you
I
face
told
me
you-
when you're talking to me?
Stop reading my lips.
we were slightly shy of 1,000.
So how did you come up with the name Abel for your practice?
Abel is a combination of my parents' names. So it was Abe and Elaine. So I took the AB from Abe and the EL from Elaine,
I like that.
and we merged it together to come up with Abel. We are proud to still be one of the only private practices still standing.
Good for you. That's
in
wonderful.
A long way.
30 years
and
is
we're-
a long time.
And we're
You're doing something right.
thank
She
you.
does house calls.
Were your parents in the business also?
No, not at all. My mother was an accountant. My
Oh.
father worked for the union.
Oh.
Actually, he was a jeweler, and then he worked for the union.
So, what are some of the we have? We have a lot of our audiences 60 and older. What are some of the common signs of hearing loss?
The first thing that will happen is that your friends and family will say, "What are you, deaf?" I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself several times a day to you. What is with you? Are you not hearing me? Because typically, when your vision goes, you're bumping into walls, you're squinting,
You
get
can't
a
read
headache.
something. Right, exactly.
But hearing loss typically occurs over a period of time, and most of the people I see aren't profoundly impaired, where their results are off the chart. They all hear something. Most of them have some residual hearing, so they think, "Oh well, I'm still hearing." But they do definitely notice that they're not understanding as well. So
I
if
wanna
you're
ask you a-
misinterpreting
I want to
things,
ask you a question. We got an
Is this a
email.
personal question?
Kind of, really. We had someone email us. They said they were watching a commercial, and the commercial was something you put in your ear that you can hear the TV better. Have you heard of that?
yeah.
So what is that?
What kind of scam is that?
There's a lot of different devices, a lot of things on the internet, and there's a lot of information. We live on Google Highway. And,
Yes.
you can access any kind of information. And we get a lot of calls. Well, I found this thing. It's only $14.95. And yeah, you know what? If you have a really slight hearing loss, it's like those reading glasses that
Right.
you get at Walmart. But if you really, really are not interpreting things, the hearing devices that we dispense are very customized. They're customized for somebody's hearing loss. They're customized for their lifestyle. And, because they are an investment, there's no way around them. They are an investment. We spend a lot of time on follow-up and really working with that person to help them use them to maximum effect in their lives. So, I have people, they say, all I do is sit in the house and watch TV. I just need it for the TV on the phone. So, depending on the hearing loss, we might get them, a very simple hearing device and teach them how to use it with the television or the phone. We might just introduce them to TV ears or something else for the telephone.
But $17.95. Use your common sense.
Well, you get what
okay?
you pay for. That's basically it.
You definitely, because they're not customized. They didn't. One of the biggest complaints I get from anything is, "Oh, there's so much noise in the world," and there is. So those things are not personalized. They're not customized. They don't filter out noise. If you have any challenges with it, there is nobody on the other
How did I know
end.
this was going to be her response?
There's something breaks, you just have to go out and buy a new one.
Right.
So it depends how many times you're buying new ones. And
Exactly. and $17.95. Think about that, folks. I mean, what do you think you're going to get for $17.95?
Garbage. That's what you're going to get. Something that doesn't work
Well,
properly.
a lot of times they'll get it for the television, which I would tell them invest a little bit more and get
Something customized.
yeah.
That's for you.
Right, get TV ears at Sennheiser, or they get it because they're having challenges in noisy situations, and you will not hear people's speech better with those 1795 ones in noisy situations
imagine
because
not,
because that truly is an amplifier. And it amplifies everything.
Right.
So yes, it will amplify my voice, but if there's a lot of noise somewhere, dishes clanging, music, it will definitely amplify that too.
You know, I think a lot of people also don't want to admit
I was
that
just gonna
they
say
have a hearing problem because it's associated with aging. You know, people wear a pair of glasses because, I mean, I've worn glasses for reading for so many years. But as soon as you start having some type of hearing loss, I think a lot of people don't want to admit that they're having a problem.
A lot of the hearing devices are a lot smaller now.
Yes.
And I truly believe because a lot of my patients are getting a lot younger and they really value their hearing and they really value what their hearing brings to the table. And they really understand that having good hearing makes you younger, not older.
I agree.
Because when you don't hear and you're sitting there going, what? Huh? What'd you say? Or
Do
somebody
what?
asks you
Or
a question.
Do what?
answering
Saying
the wrong
something
question.
completely different.
Yes.
It makes you look stupid. It makes
Say
you
it
look.
bluntly.
It does. It makes you look so much older, and there are so many.
Well, it's a stigma attached to having a hearing aid. But nowadays,
But the truth is that when people have hearing loss and don't treat it and don't get hearing devices, it makes them 3 times more likely to have balance problems and fall, which then leads to broken hips and all kinds of other things. It makes them puts them at 5 times greater risk for dementia and Alzheimer's because the brain is not getting the input.
Good. Scare them.
And
Get them to go have a hearing test.
You
Tell
know, and
everybody
it's
how important it
associated.
is.
It really, really is important. You know, especially if you've been tested and treated for diabetes, heart disease, thyroid, a lot of the, cancer medications can cause even temporary hearing loss. And, it's important if you're going to doctors, if you're going to be communicating with other people, it just keeps you more active.
I agree.
And staying active is just key to staying young. So
Hey, we got to go to a commercial.
we do.
And then when we come back, we have more with Dr. Paula. I love doing the show. I mean, who needs the notes already?
You don't.
We will be right back with Dr. Paula with Abel Audiology.
Dr. Paula Liebeskin is proud to introduce A-Bell Audiology and Hearing Center in Pembroke Pines. Here at the A-Bell Center, we are dedicated to providing you with a truly customized and successful hearing health experience. Success to us means you leave happy, healthy, and hearing the world around you. The A-Bell Center specializes in hearing loss, tinnitus, and tinnitus treatments, hearing aids, oral rehabilitation, and balance disorders. A-Bell Audiology offers professional and research-based services to individuals living with hearing loss, ringing in the ears, or balance disorders. A-Bell's audiologic and tinnitus evaluations and balance tests are performed exclusively by Dr. Paula Liebeskin, a leading expert. Contact A-Bell Audiology and Hearing Center today, as there has never been a better time to enjoy better hearing than now. A-Bell Audiology and Hearing Center is located at 2301 North University Drive, Suite 110, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Call them at 954-435-9779 or visit their website at www.abellaudio.com. That's A-B-E-L audio.com.
And we're back.
We are. And can I just make one comment? Because I was just saying this during commercial
Hey,
break.
how do you just make one comment?
Anyway, aside from you, I was just saying during break that I feel so comfortable with you. So I know if I went to your office, I would feel comfortable in the fact that I would be fitted properly and I'd be at ease. She just makes, you feel so welcome in the studio. I would definitely go to her practice.
Thank you.
And I was thinking about last time you brought some of the devices with you.
I did.
They're so small.
They're so small.
That you wouldn't even notice if you had one in. And you improve your quality of life. And that's the biggest factor. Because not hearing is, especially if you're in a social setting, it's a horrible thing not to be able to hear what everybody else is talking about. So is there a cure for hearing loss?
It depends where the hearing loss is coming from. You can go up on a plane and come down and your ears
Start popping.
Yes.
pop, and that causes hearing loss. But that's temporary.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that cause temporary hearing loss. Wax, fluid in the ears. And there are. I'm trying to think.
Do people come in
otosclerosis.
to get the wax
Correct.
out of their ear? Do you treat that also? Because I know that.
I do that too.
Okay.
So does that help sometimes with some of the hearing loss?
But you have to know where it's coming from. So we do tests to see if it's something that we really do need to send somebody to a medical doctor for, or whether it's something that we can do.
Right.
But I would say probably 90% of our people, it's nerve damage. So it's called sensory neural hearing loss. It affects the hair cells in the inner ear. And typically that's management.
Right.
But,
So what do you do?
There are wonderful, wonderful management strategies.
So I know in school and the kids, they used to do I think it was called, was a tympanogram?
We do tympanograms that test the middle
Wow,
ear.
Renee.
That's awesome.
Wow,
That's
I'm
really
impressed.
good.
Well, they used to do that. Well, my son had a lot of ear infections growing up.
Yes.
And they used to do tympanograms on him, and they used to give him a lot of antibiotics, and it was fluid in his ear from having so many colds. He was always sick.
So we can
you do that as
the
adults as well.
tympanograms, absolutely. So we see if the eardrum is moving, and we see if the nerve is working or not.
Right.
Do you know what? I see a lot of people still wearing the old style hearing aids. I mean, you can kind of tell.
I don't, that's
No,
funny.
they're
I
real
don't,
big, you know.
I don't really see too many people
You don't?
wearing those
I don't
anymore.
see too many people wearing those anymore. No, nobody wears those anymore.
But
And see, that's the whole stigma with the whole hearing
I
aid
see them at my
factor.
mahjong games all the time.
You want to know something? Contact lenses are more noticeable.
But I mean,
But the hearing aids that she brought into studio are so small that there is no way that you could, unless you're actually looking inside somebody's ear, they're so unnoticeable.
They really are.
I mean, the technology is so
I see so
unbelievable
many
now.
people with Bluetooth devices for the phones.
right.
And those things are huge
Yes.
compared to.
But here's what I was
Well,
getting
hearing
at. If someone has had, what is the lifespan of a hearing aid? How long do they last?
Anywhere from 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Because
So-
they're all digital, so they all work
That's
on
a
these
long
little
time,
computer
though.
chips.
Oh,
and-
yeah. But I guess what I'm saying to our audience is if you've had a hearing aid for a while and maybe it's time for a new one, you got to go to able audiologist because, first of all, you're going to
Just
walk
to see
in
Dr.
knowing,
Paula.
you're going to know that Dr. Paula is going to be understanding. She's very knowledgeable, and you're going to feel
She's been
comfortable
doing
with
this
her.
for 30 years. So
And,
what's,
and what we really love is people with ITD or in the draw hearing aids. That
Explain that. Spell it.
ITD.
ITD, that's the initials.
In the drawer, they get them.
And they don't put them in.
They put them in the drawer.
Ah.
So if you have one of those hearing aids, take it out, dust it off, bring it to us, and we just, anybody, really, we're aiming for 1,000 hearing tests this year. So
And listen, it's not a older, I mean, you can bring your teenagers, young adults. I mean, everybody should have a hearing test, not a hearing aid test, a hearing test.
just
Yes.
to have a baseline,
Give them your phone number.
954-435-9779.
And your website address.
www.able www.abelaudio, that's A-B as in boy, E-L, A-U-D as in Debbie, I-O, at AOL.com.
And the difference, because we read this, the difference between an audiologist and an ENT hearing dispenser, what's the difference? Because you're an audiologist.
Yes, there's also audioprostologists. So it's about the training and what the focus of our practice is. So a hearing instrument specialist basically does testing and can tell you whether or not there's hearing loss and whether or not you need a hearing aid, and they will fit the hearing aid.
Okay.
So this is basically what you do, specialize in. This is your specialty.
Well, that's a hearing instrument dispenser. An
Okay.
audioprostologist has 6 more months of school than that.
Oh,
So
okay.
for hearing instrument specialists and audioprostologists, the schooling varies from state to state, but it's typically less than a year.
Does
then-
insurance cover any of the...
Wait, I want to finish
Oh.
answering your last
Okay.
question.
See, I'm looking at the time. I've got so many questions
I will.
here.
I will speak quickly. I'll speak in sign language. So, an audiologist usually has their doctorate degree and at least a 1-year residency, because you have to put in hours, and we have to go for continuing education credits every year. And we're usually more, medical based, and so we're very well versed. Not that hearing instrument specialists aren't, but audiologists are very well versed in the anatomy and physiology and can tell you how the hearing devices will work with your particular anatomy and physiology. And then ENTs, of course, have their MD and
Right.
can prescribe medicine, do surgeries, and such.
Okay. So let's go back to my question. Does insurance cover any of the hearing aid instruments at all?
Not usually.
Okay.
A lot of the HMOs will give discounts.
Okay.
Some of them, some of the insurances will actually give you a reimbursement. I can tell you, if you have Medicare,
I was just going to ask that question.
they will
'Cause the last thing
pay.
is to-
They will pay for the testing,
Okay.
but not.
Not the hearing aid itself.
Right.
Wow, that's sad.
It is. So
But
what?
we always have financing plans, and
Okay.
They
we
help
can
everybody
work.
else.
Yeah, we can work with any budget.
So how much do they typically run hearing aids? What is the price range?
Usually anywhere from $900 to it can go up to $4,000 per instrument. And there's reasons for that wide disparity in prices.
I don't really think that's that bad.
No.
I mean, something as
To
important
be
as
able
your-
to hear?
Yeah, I mean,
You know what they say, better hearing, priceless. Communication with your loved ones, priceless.
I love that. That's a good analogy. It
is.
It is.
For me, I know people are concerned about bottom line dollars, but you really have to look at the value of it.
It's a huge value to be able to hear and be able to socialize. I mean, that's a huge factor. It really is.
I hate to say this.
We're out of time.
We have come to an end of our first half of our show. We had 4 more pages of notes that we wanted to talk to Dr. Paula about. I got to tell you, I love having you on our
I know,
show.
she's such a
Thank you.
sweetheart. Really, you are.
I will be back.
Yeah,
Thank
she's going to be back with
God,
us next
yes.
month. And this is important. We talked about these hearing tests. Give them your phone number.
954-435-9779.
And go in there and be tested.
Yeah,
Yes,
don't wait.
come be part of our 1,000-ear march. 1,000
wonderful.
person, because it's really 2,000, right?
I love it. Hey, when we
Yes.
come back, we have our Jaguar Land Rover dealership, Treasure Coast, on with us for the second half hour. Love those cars. God, I love those cars.
I want one.
I know. Anyway, Dr. Paula will be back with us next month, and we will be right back.
Dr. Paula Liebeskin is proud to introduce A-Bell Audiology and Hearing Center in Pembroke Pines. Here at the A-Bell Center, we are dedicated to providing you with a truly customized and successful hearing health experience. Success to us means you leave happy, healthy, and hearing the world around you. The Abel Center specializes in hearing loss, tinnitus, and tinnitus treatments, hearing aids, oral rehabilitation, and balance disorders. Abel Audiology offers professional and research-based services to individuals living with hearing loss, ringing in the ears, or balance disorders. Abel's audiologic and tinnitus evaluations and balance tests are performed exclusively by Dr. Paula Liebeskin, a leading expert. Contact Abel Audiology and Hearing Center today, as there has never been a better time to enjoy better hearing than now. Abel Audiology and Hearing Center is located at 2301 North University Drive, Suite 110, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Call them at 954-435-9779 or visit their website at www.abelaudio.com. That's ABEL audio.com.
36